Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
You are listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
I'm Josh Chomick.
And I'm Jimmy Parks.
Welcome back, everybody. This week, it's officially May 1st.
Wow.
We're in May. I should just start by saying that.
May Day.
And we are officially in a new space this week for our podcast.
Do you think the listeners will be able to hear a difference? Because in my ears right now, I hear a big difference.
Yeah, I was curious, listeners at home, when you hear this, do we sound more like we're on the radio? Our mics are still the same. It's just
next week we will have better audio, fellas. We're still a work in progress here. There's a few little kinks we need to change in the room to get to the place we need to be.
It does feel very crispy, though.
It
feels full. It feels very full. The audio feels rich.
We're working on our audio. We need the audio to be better on this podcast, and now we're in a new space. It feels good.
Yeah, it does feel nice.
Trying to adapt to the new habitat. It's different. You know, this is our first time sitting here. It's wild.
Right? Like, I'm not an audio nerd by any means, but I didn't think that just changing space would make such a big difference.
I mean, it's a completely different size room. Like, we don't have these crazy high ceilings anymore, and that helps with the sound a lot, which I love. But yeah, I think like we just got to get used to it. Like, do you guys feel like lost right now? Like, do you feel comfortable? I feel good.
I don't feel anything. I could do this podcast on a sailboat in the middle of the Atlantic alone.
I would love to do that, actually.
Remember when we were going to do an episode on the beach? Never did that.
You guys failed.
How did you fail?
No. Don't you guys.
I listen. In our weekend recap, we could, I guess, talk some weekend recap. While we were at the Yeti store on Sunday at the mall at Short Hills, I have a cooler, and I was thinking Island Beach State Park trip this summer. I'm going to get a Blackstone. We're going early.
Yeah.
We'll do, little Jersey breakfast on the beach.
Yeah.
And we'll just hang out a little bit. Maybe get some hoagies, a good sandwich for lunch.
Oh, nothing like a Wawa hoagie on the beach.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to doing a podcast that day on the beach.
Okay, if you guys want to do it, I'll do it.
We need to just buy like a kind of a setup that we could just bring on the go, so we don't have to tear down the studio. Then we're set.
I think the better bet would be rather than a traditional episode, because then all of our stories are going to be a little bit weird. I think rather than a traditional episode, we should just do a sign in from the beach.
Little check in.
Yeah, so we bring these 3 mics, we hook them into like a Zoom recorder or whatever you call it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like nothing fancy. We just kind of check in with the listeners.
We just sit in our chairs.
You hear the waves crashing behind us.
Yeah, you just talk. I think it'd be really nice. We could do like
some ASMR.
We should just do like a summer shore update every couple of weeks. We do here's what's up in Jersey in the summer.
Yeah, we just got to buy a few different materials to make this happen. But I think
we don't have to even film it. It could just be for the pod listeners.
But think about how cool that would be with the water behind us.
Yeah, I do like that idea.
It's not bad. We might have to invest. Summer 2025, baby.
We've been saying that for 3 years now. Never gonna happen.
Hey, I didn't bring it up, nor do I ever.
Yeah. Speaking of the beach, how was your guys' weekend? What did you guys get into this weekend? Anything?
I didn't go to the beach.
I did. That's why I said that, but I want to hear about your weekend. What'd you do?
Josh and I worked together on a project on Saturday, and then in the evening we went to one of our favorite spots, Sun Tavern, got the Old World pie with vodka sauce.
Some mild wings on the side.
Oh, so good.
Sun Tavern, that's Roselle.
Yeah.
Is it Roselle or Roselle Park? I always get them confused.
Roselle Park, I believe.
Yeah, because that's right by Team Car Wash.
It is Roselle Park.
Yep, Roselle Park.
Shout out to my dentist.
Love Sun Tavern. Their Old World pie with vodka sauce. It's always cooked to perfection. Hits the spot every time, and the vibes of that whole entire place are just perfect.
Immaculate.
There is something great about the Sun Tavern. That Old World pie with some wings outside in the summertime.
And like the whole vibe of the place is just Old World vibes. Like they got like tons of things hanging on like the walls and the ceiling. It's just it's a very comfortable atmosphere. If you haven't been, I would definitely recommend you check out Sun Tavern. We love them there. They're good people. But then Sunday, I guess before you go talk about your shore story, Sunday we went to the Shore Hills Mall together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, the mall at Shore Hills, the official name.
Yeah. Classier.
Yeah, so we were the Goombas walking through the mall with a Yeti cooler, a bright green Yeti cooler, and it was hilarious seeing people just stop Josh and Jimmy holding the cooler, asking like, "What are you guys doing?"
People kept coming up to me like, "Where'd you get that cooler?" It's a Yeti. I said the Yeti store. This older couple was
very interested,
enamored by the cooler. They were like, "What's so special about this cooler?" I didn't even talk to them. They just came to me, "What's so special about this cooler?" Not like I said to everybody, "Hey, this is a special cooler."
Yeah. But like you said, that would be the perfect marketing campaign for Yeti.
So my thought was, when Yeti goes to a new mall, because this is a new store, they should just have a couple guys walk around with a really nice big cooler.
Yeah.
And not say a word and let the people
just
do the
walk
talking.
for like 3 hours straight and everybody would be like, where did they get that cooler from? And eventually, because so many people were asking me about the cooler, I didn't know it was like a phenomenon. This older couple, they were really interested, and the guy said, "Sell me on the cooler." And I said, "Well," I was like, "It's great. It keeps ice cold for 5 days. It's green." I mean, he's
okay,
like, if it was not really selling me on. He's like 80 years old. You're not really selling me on this cooler.
It's like I wasn't exactly studied on it either.
Yeah, like you're looking for me to sell you a cooler. I mean, I'm not a cooler salesman. I don't know.
If it was a white cooler, do you think you would get the same attention?
No,
right? It's the bright green.
That green I picked out.
It's so pretty.
It's really cool.
And like we were thinking, like before Yeti sent us his cooler, thank you so much Yeti for the amazing coolers. We're like, should we just go like a plain color, like a white or like a black, something like clean? And then Josh saw the green. He's like, we should do the green. I'm like, let's do it.
Garden State Green. Yeti has a beautiful store, I will say.
You guys got to check it out.
This is not an ad promo. This is just a recap. It was a really nice store, and the Yeti cooler has been a dream of mine. I've always wanted a Yeti, and now I got one under my belt.
Nice.
It's been like a bucket list. At some point, I'm gonna get a Yeti, but you know what? Things come along, and it's not always on the top of the docket of things I need to purchase. I'm not using a cooler a few summers ago I was when we did the beach frequently.
Yeah.
But now that I have a Yeti, we're doing the beach.
Yeah.
We're going to Island Beach State Park. We're going to post up.
Set
fish.
up both coolers like side by side.
Yeah,
like,
we'll do like a whole... People make fun of us with our coolers, but it was a great time.
Yeah.
They had a
lot of custom jersey
stickers
merch
for the people that came for opening weekend, for the listeners I'm telling. And the 4 stickers all were New Jersey related. So there was one that said Gabagool on it, and it was a turkey.
I couldn't believe that.
But is Gabagool turkey?
I have no idea what Gabagool is.
It's, you know what it is.
No, I know what it is, but like I don't know actually what it is. Like I always hear like Gabagool.
It's ham. Dry cured ham.
So why is
That's
there
what I thought.
Maybe
because it fit in nicely with the letters.
It's kind of interesting.
And then there was one that said "Sleeping with the Fishes" because it's a fishing company.
Yeah, It's a very interesting choice.
Yeah, it was pretty good. They were all really nice. And
also,
of
like,
course, the patches.
Yeah, custom jersey patches.
Yeah, which were really nice.
Yeah, we picked up a bunch. It was a good time.
If you want to get some custom gear, they still have it there, so stop by. But, it was good. Other than that, though, I wanted to mention I did make a trip down to the Cape.
Your spot?
Yeah, hung out on the Cape. Cape May, that is. And my friends at the boarding house hotel invited me down for a little weekend oyster experience.
So how are you coming home from this trip? Are you an oyster head now? Like, do you know so much more about oysters than how you showed up to the place?
Yeah, I know a lot. So here's what they did, and I'll give you kind of the run around. So, or the background, let's say. They invited us down Thursday night through Sunday. On Thursday afternoon, they had a shucking event, so they taught us how to shuck oysters, which was cool.
How hard was it?
Yeah, it wasn't hard. You just kind of stick an oyster. And they gave me an oyster knife, so I have an oyster knife now. So that was pretty easy, but it was cool. And then on Friday, I went to the Rutgers. Let me make sure I say it right. Rutgers Aquatic Innovation Center, I think it is.
Where was that?
Innovation. Oh, the New Jersey Aquaculture Innovation Center.
Aquaculture?
Yeah.
Sounds very official.
So if you're going out the Cape May, I think it's a channel. What is that? A channel that takes boats out? Big boats? They go out channels?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
The Cape May, it's not I don't know what it is, but it's what Ben Gravy surfed on that skateboard he gave us.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's where the Cape May Lewis ferry goes out.
Got it.
So when you're going out that channel, whatever it is, on the right-hand side, there's a building, and it has a Rutgers University logo on it.
Oh,
so
it's right
this
there.
is a space where Rutgers studies oysters and also the water coming in. So they bring
Cool.
they suck a bunch of water in.
Inlet.
I don't think it is an inlet.
But
Is
inlet is where like Ben Gravy serves, so that's where the boats go out, on an inlet. So I don't know if like that's what you're talking about, but that's the word that just came to my head. Like Manasquan Inlet. So I don't know if what you're talking about looks the same, but that's where the boats go out, an inlet.
I want to. Maybe it's an inlet. That doesn't feel like what they call it, though. They call it something else. I always get confused by that because even like the term Cape May isn't a cape; it's an island.
Are you talking about the Cape May Canal?
Yeah, it's a canal. That is a canal.
Yeah, it says right here on the map, Cape May Canal.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, but I was like, that doesn't feel right either.
Yeah, because it cuts the tip of New Jersey off.
The canal.
Yeah.
So why is it a cape, Jimmy, if it's not actually a cape? That's what I was trying to figure out.
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Like, what is Cape Cod,
Josh,
do you know?
Well, a cape is a piece of land that jets out, but it's connected to a larger piece of land. It's not...
Geographically, a cape is a point of land that extends into a body of water like an ocean or lake. Alternatively, in fashion, a cape is a sleeveless outer garment that drapes over the shoulders and back.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a superhero.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, if you think about the Horn of Africa, that's kind of like a cape. It's jetting out. That's like a really dramatic
Interesting.
form. But when I think of Cape May, I'm looking at an island. See, like Cape Cod, it's a massive...
I mean, like, yeah, Cape May is kind of like that, though. Just like turning the other way.
But it's just, you have to go over a bridge to get onto it.
Oh, yeah, true.
So I'm like, is that technically not an island? I mean, I don't know.
Have we ever talked about South Cape May?
I don't know that we have.
That does not exist anymore. So this is...
Oh, yeah. I hold that thought. I'll finish my
okay.
oyster story, and then we'll talk about... Because that's where the train tracks are.
Maybe.
It's
Go
gone.
on.
So basically, we went to this Rutgers place. They showed us all these baby oysters. It was cool. And then we went to Sweet Amalia Oyster Farm on Saturday, which is a family-owned and operated oyster farm.
Okay.
So if you look at New Jersey, a map of the J, and you look at Google Maps, right? You go to Cape May. On the left side of the Cape, there are all these oyster farms, and they're like 30 minutes, I guess, south of Philadelphia by boat, I think, because if you were to drive, it'd be really far. And I was in Pierce's Point, and there were all these little oyster farms on the sand.
So, like, yeah, is that like a do you think like randomly one day they just pick that spot? Like, we're going to farm oysters here? Or are they like naturally just in that spot?
No. It's oyster. It's all man-made. It's like they have these little, what do you call them? Rebar. Like they built tables
Like
out of
cages?
rebar and they put nets on top, and they put the oysters in them, and then they put them there purposely so when the tide comes in, they get the salt water. It's
Okay.
a big part of the process. How they get nutrients is they filter water, and then the water goes out, and they sit there on the beach.
And then where do they get the oysters from?
That's the interesting part, from Rutgers. So that Rutgers Innovation Center is a private-public partnership between the state and local farmers, where they're like operating and they're growing these little oysters. Unless I misunderstood.
Wait, Rutgers is growing the oysters.
Yeah, they're bringing them in.
But like, where do they naturally get oysters from? Like the ocean?
Well, yeah, oysters would naturally attach themselves to a grain of sand and then eventually attach themselves to something larger.
Okay.
Like that's why when you look at an oyster at a restaurant, they're nice and clean. Those are farmed oysters. A real oyster would be messy looking. It'd be like attached. It'd have
Interesting. Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So it was a good time. And then that Sweet Amalia oyster farm is like the best in the Northeast, apparently. One of the greatest oyster farms.
Yeah.
If you go to like New York City and go to get oysters, there's a good chance it's going to say from Sweet Amalia.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool. So high recommendation if you're ever at a restaurant, you like oysters, check out Sweet Amalia's. And they also have a roadside stand / restaurant. And the cook is like a James Beard nominated chef, which is a very high reward in cooking. And she cooked for us on Saturday night. That's the Sweet Amalia Marketing Kitchen. That's in Newfield, New Jersey. Jim, you ever been in Newfield?
Never been to Newfield.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're ever in the area, apparently the food's unbelievable. Very, very good.
Do you think now you will buy some oysters and make them at home?
No, I don't think I will.
You'd rather just go out, get them.
You know
From
how I
a
mentioned
restaurant.
the seafood thing last week? I'm a
Yes.
little bit weird about seafood. Even while I was eating the best, freshest oysters imaginable, like these are safe.
You were thinking about it.
The lady that started the oyster farm Sweet Amalia's, she was a biologist for universities like all around the country. Like she's a genius. She knows these oysters. And I'm still kind of like, I don't know.
You're still thinking about it.
Still kind of.
But look, you were fine after it.
Yeah, I only lost my left arm. No, I'm kidding. Jimmy, tell us about Southgate May now.
So, I don't know if you've seen this before, but this always like blows my mind. What?
Okay, I just have a breaking the information. Because Josh, if you look over here, this is crazy. So see Cape May Canal?
Yeah.
If you go to this side of Cape May, over here, you have the Cape May Inlet. Right? So you have the canal and you have the inlet, two different sides of Cape May. What's the difference between a canal and inlet? I got the answer. A canal is a human-made waterway.
Yeah.
Often used for transportation.
Like the Panama Canal.
Inlet is a natural or man-made narrow channel or opening, usually connecting a larger body of water.
It's all made up. Like they just described the same thing twice.
It's AI. I don't know.
Well, listen. I think there's a very simple response to this. A canal is like the distance, right? Like it goes all the way across the island or the landmass, right? From one end to the other.
Oh,
an
inlet is just going to like the bay or something smaller.
Oh, that makes way more sense.
The whole
so like the
thing.
Panama Canal goes across.
No, but this Cape May Inlet goes to the Cape May Harbor, and that connects to the Cape May Canal, and it goes out the other side of Cape May.
Because it's an island, so
yeah, it's just the inlet. That's the inlet.
I guess because it's a canal, maybe it's not considered an island.
Is every canal an inlet, or is every inlet a canal?
No.
Okay. Jimmy, tell us about South Cape May.
So this always like amazed me, right? Here's the 1930s aerials. This is going to be great audio for people listening.
Yeah,
at home.
I could see.
And then if you go here to like today,
where are you finding these images?
He has a guy.
That whole bottom chunk of Cape May is just gone.
You know, if you
South
go
Cape
there,
May is gone.
You know, if you go there on the beach right there, Jimmy, where that's missing,
the ghost tracks.
Ghost tracks pop out. There used to be whole neighborhoods down there.
Wild.
And the house I grew up going down to for the shore, they moved on logs.
That's crazy.
It's a huge Victorian house that 100 years ago they put on logs and they rolled it to a new location.
Wow.
Which is just like men
Like,
used
what
to be men. They used to cut down trees and roll a house.
If someone asked you right now to roll a house for them, Josh, what's your first what's your move? Like, what are you going to do?
Okay, first,
what's your plan of attack?
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get large, incredibly large metal cylinders from a big store.
Okay, continue.
And then I'm going to have to somehow chip away at the foundation, maybe a little jackhammer. And then we're going to have to I'm going to probably go to Harbor Freight and get like 40 car jacks.
I was about to say you have to jack up the house like they do.
Like 40 of them though, so it's extra safe.
From Harbor Freight. Great selection right there.
Enough.
Yeah.
And then
save money.
I would put them each under a beam that looks like it's supporting something, and I would just jack it up.
And then roll it onto your cylinders from there?
That's where it gets tricky. I think I'd have to slowly put the cylinders under the house.
How big of a crew, like the wrecking crew, you're going to have to bring to this?
I'm thinking like me and 3 of my friends.
3?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. We're in trouble.
Not you, that's for sure.
You don't want me there, brother.
I don't think I could do it. I mean, like now they build houses larger down at the Jersey Shore, and they use hydraulic.
Lift them up. Yeah, it's crazy.
Presses.
We saw that happen so much after Hurricane Sandy and Irene. Like in our area, from all the flooding, you just see like these houses getting lifted. It's wild.
That's one of those businesses that I like thinking about businesses, and I wonder, how do you start that business?
Yeah.
Like, how do you start a business where like, hey, you want your house to be 6 feet higher than it is? I got you.
And think about how scary that is. Like the risk.
Very freaky.
Like one wrong move, you're ruining someone's house.
Yeah, but I think nowadays they got it down pat.
Yeah, you never see a house actually get destroyed from it. It's pretty amazing.
Josh, by the way, what did you do this weekend?
Oh no, I said I worked with Jimmy this weekend.
Yeah.
Like we were working all day on Saturday on a secret little mission that I can't say about on the podcast. And then Sun Tavern at night, Anthony came through, caught up. We talked running with Anthony. He's like, "Why are you not running? Why are you and Josh stop running?" I'm like, "I'm injured."
Okay. I'm running tomorrow, by the way.
You're back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, he's so back.
So my knee was bad for about 2 weeks straight. And then I ran and it hurt again. And now I'm just committing. I'm just going to run. And if it hurts, we'll see what happens.
That's what I think I'm going to do too with my foot, because it's just the same pain over and over again. And I think it's not that bad. It's just no pain, no gain, you know?
We did get a lot of calls about people wanting to run with us.
I did want to say, like, we're not going to play all the mailbags we got, but we got like a record number of mailbags this week about people talking about different run clubs in Jersey and people running and people following us on Strava. And I think it's really cool, Josh. A lot of people starting the run.
Yeah. No, it's definitely very, very cool.
I mean, it's addicting. Like, I
It is.
never thought I was always like, Josh, I'm not a runner. Stop talking to me. And then I started. And of course I hurt myself. And now I'm depressed because I can't run. And it's like, it gets me going when I run in the morning. And now I can't do it.
You'll get back out there.
Will I?
I think you will.
I'm just going to run through the pain. I don't even care.
Hey, before we do news, guys, and mailbag, actually, before we do any of that, quick question. We're in May now. So that means Memorial Day weekend is
24, 23 days?
It's
crazy.
It's the 23rd this year?
Is it the 24th?
It's the 26th, actually.
But that means the weekend starts.
The 23rd.
The 24th.
Oh, wow. So we're 23 days away. So 3 weeks and 2 days.
Wow.
So summer's about to launch. We're about to do a soft launch of summer here in Jersey. And I'm curious if you guys you feel prepared for the summer in New Jersey? You got any special plans, or are you just winging it?
I'm winging it.
I'm winging it. I'm really excited for summer. I'm happy with the warmer weather now for two things, running and golf. No more cold mornings, thank God. Like it's been a brutal few weeks stretch here.
Today was lovely this morning.
The weather the last week and this week have been prime. So good.
I was walking out my front door probably at like 6:50, 7 o'clock ish. And I was just like holding a nice cup of coffee in my Yeti mug.
It's the best time of day.
And it was lovely.
It's the best
It
time.
was great.
Now you hear all the birds chirping that time of day. Everyone's alive.
They were singing.
They're back from hibernation. Like everyone's back from the north. It's just so beautiful.
My daughter thinks that mourning doves are owls.
Listen, a lot of adults think the same thing.
And she'll
They
say,
sound like an owl.
And it's funny because as an adult, you don't hear the birds as much. But I think it's just because you're not listening. You're not listening.
You're just not listening.
And she always hears them. And I'm like, oh, you're right. I'm like, oh, there is a mourning dove. Mm-hmm. But she's like, owl. Like, that's not an
Can't
owl.
blame her. It sounds just
But
like an owl.
I will say, when you wake up at 6 a.m. with the window cracked and you hear the birds talking a little bit.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Oh, it's therapeutic. That's why I run at 5:30 in the morning.
It almost makes you think we're not meant to live in these little cities. Go out, go live out in a little bit of nature and you might wake up a little happier, more connected with the world around you.
100%. No traffic
Just a
around
thought.
you, no congestion, no pollution.
But then how would we do
a podcast about New Jersey, one of the most congested states in the country, and our love for it?
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, all right, why don't we get into the mailbag this week? Man, I'm still getting used to hearing myself in this sort of...
It's different.
It's weird.
Yes.
It's kind of strange.
Jimmy, how you like your little lair over there?
It's nice. I feel like I might hit my head, but other than that,
You got a good 8 inches in your little spot right there. We're making Jimmy stand too. He can't sit. He's not allowed to sit.
not that when was the last time I sat on this podcast?
Yeah, you always stand.
Yeah.
True.
That's why I got this standing desk here. It would be nice if it went up a little higher, but
I just asked you, and you're like, I always like it this height.
yeah, it doesn't go up any higher.
I
It's all the
unplugged
way
it
up.
because I have everything wired to that height, Jimmy.
Oh.
How much higher do you need it?
That's why I asked you earlier, how high do you want it?
Oh, I thought it was all the way up.
No.
Oh.
I might need to rewire a few things. How much higher do you want, brother?
As high as it goes.
Because I felt it. I thought it was pretty high. So
Yeah,
I was
you're
like,
short.
I'm not that short, Jimmy. I'm 5'11".
Yeah. I'm 6'3".
I'm 5'11 3/4.
Almost there. Okay, I'll work on it. We'll talk through it. Jimmy, we'll work on it for next week. We're still in the growing pains of the new space right now.
We'll figure it out.
And I like it.
All right. Josh, people want to call into the mailbag. I think most people seem to know the number based on the number of calls we got this week.
Keep
but
calling, baby.
if they want to call in, why don't you play that number and we'll get into one of our calls.
Yes, sir. The mailbag number is
908 67 99 99 3.
Hey, Garden State. My name is Tara. I've been listening to the show for a few months now, thanks to the Gram. Found you guys on the Gram. Josh, I am so sorry, but what you said about preferring grocery store fish to fresh caught absolutely horrified me.
I'm pausing this. I knew I was.
I knew what you were setting yourself up for.
I knew I knew the response I was going to get from that as soon as I said it. But I just.
Hey, you're being honest with the listeners.
I'll expand more after I hear what she says. I did not listen to this call in advance. I think you did,
I
Josh.
did.
See what she says. She's going to make fun of me. It's fine. Go ahead.
My dad has a party boat out of Point Pleasant called the Gambler. My family's been in the fishing boat business. Sorry, shameless plug for the Gambler. My family has been in the fishing business since the 1930s. I have fished my entire life, and I will not touch fish that I haven't gotten off of the boat or one of my friends' boats or fresh caught. Fish from a grocery store, you don't even know how old some of that stuff can be. So please, like, some of it's thawed and, refrozen and put on ice, and then it's in the open air. I would avoid at all costs. There are exceptions. You can go to Atlantic Seafood in Point Pleasant or the Co-op. My brother's actually a scallop fisherman. He's a scallop captain. A lot of his catch goes directly to these places right there in Point Pleasant. Just like find it like a real seafood place. But I've never gotten sick from eating fish fresh from the boat. And I've been doing this for 38 years. So, maybe we'll see you guys on board. You can check us out, gamblerfishing.net. Sorry, another shameless plug. But yeah, we'd love to have you guys out on the boat one day. And thanks for the great pod. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Later.
Tara.
Really nice call.
Thank you for the call.
I know what she's saying is right. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt for a second that a fish straight from the ocean. My point, and what the point I was trying to make is how demented is the modern world we live in, where I feel more comfortable eating a fish from Costco than a fish from the actual ocean.
It's that was my point. World.
My point was I feel more safe about getting sick when I go to the stupid store and it's wrapped in cellophane and plastic and styrofoam, rather than going to God's creation, the great big ocean, and scooping it out myself.
It's very sad.
I'm saying we've been indoctrinated.
Yeah.
And even
I've eaten a trout from the local lake.
Yeah.
Like that's how low I've gone. And it's been fine.
One thing I will say is, how do you know that a fish straight out of the ocean doesn't have something wrong with it?
Was going to be sipping on some oil from a boat or something?
No, I mean, animals have parasites.
Yeah, but that's when you cut it open, you could see a parasite, or you could see if there's an issue.
People sushi. Josh, you sushi'd mahi, and I think that might be part of why. Like, I know when you freeze, that's the thing with oysters is they freeze them after they go out. You have to put them on ice immediately, and when they're frozen, the freezing process kind of kills the bad stuff. But freezing also makes fish disgusting. Like when I'm going to go striper fishing this weekend, if the rain doesn't kill those.
Are you going
plants.
Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Oof.
No shot.
No, I just hope it holds up, but I have to look at the forecast again.
I think it's going to break apart.
I hope it does.
It looks like it's breaking apart.
You should be good. I mean, the little rain's not going to kill you. You should wear that raincoat.
I need a raincoat. Maybe I'll go to REI. My wife's going to kill me.
Another jacket.
Yeah, I know. That was the worst part of when I moved. When you all came over, I have so many jackets. Everyone was like,
"Oh!"
what?
And the best part is when we were helping Josh move. It was like me and Lorenzo and a few other guy friends. We were like cleaning out the closet, and we were the ones holding all his jackets, and we couldn't believe. And then Shelby's like, "Yeah, that's all Josh's." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, Josh,
I have a lot of jackets.
Way too many jackets.
I have probably like 18 jackets.
I'm waiting for you to donate like 5 to me.
They're
like,
not
I will
all
take
like,
it off your hands.
Like some are like winter coats, some are like a denim jacket, some are like a softer canvas jacket for when I'm working on my car. Like you need different jackets for different events.
Oh, dude, you got to clean that.
I have a problem. I don't have much of anything, but I have a lot of hats and a lot of jackets for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'd love to take a few off of your hands if you're trying to like clean up a little bit.
Listen, man, I'm just trying to get on the Gambler and get a fishing T-shirt.
Yeah,
because I know their logo is excellent.
Tara, I've heard of the Gambler in the past. You guys are a big deal, and you just you plugged the Gambler a few times already, and listen how many times I'm saying the Gambler, Point Pleasant, on this podcast. I think we should come out, hang out, we can make a cool little video on board. And we could, catch a ton of fish. It'll be a great time. So let us know.
Wait a second, Josh.
Tara, I will connect with you this week. We could plan something out. We would love to come on board.
Dude, they do 24-hour fishing trips.
Oh yeah, there's some of these companies
go way out.
They go so far for like tuna and like crazy fish.
Wow. That guy caught a big one. We should maybe do that. So that's one more thing when I was in Cape May. Well, first off, thank you so much for that call, Tara. That was awesome. And I appreciate the correction. I will come out on the boat eventually.
Trying to save your life, eating fresh fish better than
I know.
store-bought.
I agree. I'm saying I've been brainwashed by the system.
Yeah.
It's like people that mock hunters. They're like, you're inhumane. And then they go to ShopRite and buy a steak. It's like, what's wrong with you? That's me in a way. Like, but they're like, I'm not saying it's not moral to fish. I'm saying something about it feels like, I don't know. You don't know what you're going to be doing. And also, you mentioned parasites. Like, who's looking for a parasite?
No one. You mentioned it. Like, I'm never thinking about a parasite.
No, but you're saying you'd see if it had a parasite.
I mean, probably. What? It'd be like a giant like mark or something. I don't know.
Not necessarily. A parasite, by definition, is small. It's a parasite.
Yeah, you're right. Like, but like, what are the odds? What are the odds that you catch a fish with a parasite? Come on.
I don't know.
That's why you cook it.
The billions of fish. Wait, cooking is going to kill the parasite?
Yeah. That's why you cook things.
Okay, let's ask ChatGPT.
Wait. Can we dig into this a little bit more?
What, Jimmy?
That's why you cook things, to kill.
Yes, and we're cooking our
parasites.
fish, so what's the problem? He's the one concerned. I'm not. I didn't say parasite. I'm eating everything I catch in the ocean, bro. Dude, straight up. Give me a tuna.
terrifying.
We're cutting it up. Tuna tartar right there on the boat. Ooh.
Okay, so here you go. So striped bass in the Atlantic Ocean do not host parasites.
Easy.
Do host parasites.
Shoot.
Yeah, I mean,
But they're the parasites that are not going to kill you.
so studies have found that often a large percentage, often 70, 90% of wild striped bass carry some type of parasite.
Oh.
70.
So then we're fine because we're eating it and we're all alive, so nothing wrong.
I guess it's just they're not the type of parasite that messes with you.
Yeah, probably not.
So, all right. Either way.
Tara,
guys,
great call.
The Gambler.
We're going to come on this summer. It's going to be fun.
Hop on the Gambler, catch some fish. Thank you, Tara.
And then we can eat some fish on board.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say about Cape May is there's a lot of commercial fisheries.
Mm-hmm.
There's big boats down there. People don't realize commercial fishermen like Deadliest Catch work out of Cape May.
That's awesome.
The one guy I was hanging out with he's like, yeah, I used to be a commercial fisherman.
That's crazy. That's
He's
one
like,
of the craziest
You
jobs.
go out 2 weeks at a time and then stay home for 2 weeks. So he said, I said, was it hard? He's like, it was miserable. Like you're just on a boat for 2 weeks straight.
Rough seas.
Can you imagine that?
Imagine the wintertime in the cold. No.
Doesn't sound very fun to me.
I used to always want to go on a Deadliest Catch boat, though. Like the Northwestern.
Can I just say, Jimmy, there's something about, and this is, maybe it's just guy lore, I don't know. I love the idea of sitting in the hull of a boat, playing cards with your buddies on a rainy night after you caught some fish. That's kind of the dream in life. You're hanging out, singing some sea shanties. Like, that's what every guy wants in life.
It's a fun experience on a boat.
The Deadliest Catch guys, when they'd hang out in that little kitchen where things were rocking, like it just looked fun.
And things like pots are flying off the wall.
Yeah, with the rough seas, it's not fun. But like, give me a calm ocean session, it's good.
A little rock.
What was your favorite ship on Deadliest Catch?
I don't remember the names.
It's a big Deadliest Catch guy over here, huh?
Oh, I used to love Deadliest
Hold
Catch.
on.
Cornelia Marie, the Time Bandit,
Oh
the
my
Northwestern.
God, what is
Jimmy.
going on?
Today I'm learning a lot.
Man, this is crazy. Jimmy, man.
Jimmy, you need to go on like a tour, like Deadliest Catch tour or something.
I'd love to.
You know, if life ever gets bad enough, I think a good escape hatch is going to work on a fishing boat in Alaska.
Yeah.
I think that's like a good, what happened to Jimmy? Well, went through a bad breakup and moved to Alaska. Like
Living his best life.
feels like the move to me. Like if I ever went through something, I mean, I don't know what would drive me to that. I have a family now, but
Move the whole family to Alaska, bro.
yeah, bring them on a boat. So
Wait, Jimmy, have you ever been on like a fishing boat like off the Jersey Shore?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, the Gambler is calling your name.
So I want to go
First
on.
timer.
I want to go on one of those like actual commercial. I was thinking because this guy has connections with those commercial fishermen, and I said to him, "Hey, I would love to do like a video where I go out on one of those boats for a day and just see what they do." And he's like, "You have to go for 2 weeks." And I was like, "Well, I'll have a dinghy to pick me up." But like, if
good luck.
would you guys, if I could find a way,
No,
would you want to go for a day on a commercial fishing boat
brother, no shot.
and just document like? Here's what's happening off the Jersey Shore. Most people don't know. There's these commercial fishermen smoking pipes.
I was in
throwing nets.
I was in the Florida Keys with a hurricane in the Gulf, bro. 8-foot waves on a fishing boat. It was the worst experience of my life.
Yeah, but these are big boats. These aren't little ones. These are like the big ones.
Still, you can get seasick like crazy. Like look at those, how much those boats move.
Yeah.
Do you want to be like sick for like weeks?
You don't get sick for weeks. You feel better when you get off the boat.
Miserable.
I think it's worth it for an experience.
It's a
And
great-
that's just a thought.
Great little project for you guys to go on. I'll stay home and edit.
All right, should we do one more call here? Is it worth it?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get to this next caller.
Good afternoon, Garden State. This is Chief calling in. A couple interesting topics over the past few weeks. Just thought I'd throw my thoughts on gas situation. An engineer, I'd call it gas station attendant. It was my favorite job I've ever had, and I did it all through high school and college. I was pumping people's gas for them at a little station in Medford Lakes. But now, honestly, I would love the ability to pump my own because I am sick of waiting for attendance all the time. So let's decriminalize that, make the hybrid model, because there's some people that just I don't trust the gas pump. Secondly, you guys mentioned, or Jimmy I think mentioned the chicken or the egg last week in Marlton, New Jersey. The Chegg is a South Jersey staple starting on LBI and absolutely worth a diner visit type vibe from you guys. Some of the best wing sauces out there, and the drive from Medford down to LBI used to be something my friends and I would do. All back roads through 532, through Warden State Forest, get down there and have some fun on Wednesday nights, wing nights. Such a great time. And lastly, I just heard last week's podcast mentioning that Book of Inventions. And I remember calling into I think the first thing I was ever on the show for was when I called in about asking you guys to talk about New Jersey inventions. It's amazing all that happened in New Jersey. First ever football game, I think the first ever baseball game, snowboard, so many things all come from our great state of New Jersey. Hope you guys are well. Love the podcast. Hope to see you guys again soon.
Thanks, Cheese.
I always love a call from Cheese.
He made a few interesting points there. First thing I will say is I've been to the chicken or the egg. Have you guys?
I think I've been to one more.
What is he
on LBI?
When did we talk about this on the podcast?
So if you actually listen to the podcast and listen to what I say,
I'm just reading because you weren't here last week, so it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Who brought it up? You
I
or
did.
Sobo? Okay.
Because I went to go see my friend Mike Scarpato's band at the Chicken or the Egg.
And
you said that on the podcast?
Yes, and that's why I'm shocked because Sobo was like, I've been there before. I'm like, wait, but we just talked about this 2 weeks ago.
When did we talk about this?
We talked about Scarpato.
That was the week I was out. I was traveling in Vancouver.
I'm gonna say,
I was about to did I have a stroke?
Okay, so you've been there, so you like that spot.
Yeah, I haven't been in. I mean, it was a breakfast spot. I thought when I was a kid with my family. I mean,
and she says the vibe.
It was Long Beach Island was definitely something back in the day, and now it's definitely something else. What do you mean by that? It's the entire state of New Jersey used to be a middle class haven for people that loved having fun, going to the beach, and now it's Wall Street, baby. LBI is over, Cape May is over, Avalon, all these fancy beaches up and down the Jersey Shore. Even Seaside, you can't get a house in Seaside Heights.
No.
It's over, baby. But that's another story.
I'm down to try the chicken and the egg, though. We should do that like a diner type visit.
But he was saying he drives to LBI for wing night?
That's what it sounded like.
Wow, that's like a trip.
All the back roads through 532 through Wednesday nights. Such a great time.
Through Wednesday nights, he said through Wharton State Forest.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm reading the transcript that Google gave me.
Yeah, he was listing off his route. He was giving us the
I
turn
love it. That was a great call, man.
Play by play. Well, thanks, Cheese. Hey, guys, why don't we get into some news since that's what the podcast is about, and we're almost 40 minutes in so far, which I kind of like just talking Jersey.
Mean, yeah, I wouldn't say the podcast is all about news. I think it's all about talking Jersey.
I'm kind of thinking we just get rid of the news and just talk about Jersey for an hour straight.
I know, then we will be irrelevant.
I know. We won't have clips to post on the social medias.
We won't have information to share with the world.
Yeah. All right, well, this first story is a good one. It's a good update for the Garden State. It's something that's been concerning to me personally. And that it's a car theft ring in New Jersey has been busted, leading to the arrest of 11 people.
Busted.
Yeah, this has been a big thing going on around New Jersey is cars getting stolen out of, wealthy driveways. I guess wealthy people's driveways. They steal a G-Wagon that has the keys in the car.
Also, just normal neighborhoods with nice cars in the driveway. They target those neighborhoods more because there's less police presence.
Can I just say one thing? Anytime I live in a town where people steal cars all the time from nice driveways, nice houses, And people on the Facebook page are like, you left your keys in the ignition. And I will say, like, to me, that's kind of crazy. It's a boomer thing. Boomers leave their keys in their ignition. But I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, how sad is it that these people grew up in a world where they felt okay leaving their keys in their car?
Yeah, nowadays, no.
Like, we live in a low, we've gone from a really high, in the last 50 years, we've gone from a high trust society where people could leave their key in their car and not go, is someone going to steal it?
Yeah.
To now it's like, you better lock your house and get a security camera on every single house in your neighborhood.
Every single corner of your house,
Like
you have a different camera because you can't trust anyone.
How neurotic have we become, and how sad is that for our culture? Like, we have to call out that that's not normal.
It's gotten bad, and it's like that everywhere, though.
No, it's not. It's not like that everywhere in New Jersey. It's not like that if you go to Montana, where we went.
I meant like Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Montana. Like they were.
No, I don't
they
think
were letting
so.
us take food from the food market for free.
I think it's not like that. I don't think it's like that in Sussex County.
Really?
I don't think people are stealing cars.
Depends on the town, but yeah.
Maybe, but like if you're out in rural Sussex County, nobody's stealing a car. They all talk to their neighbors out there.
Yeah.
And it's like where we live. It's like my parents' block I grew up on. I knew as a kid, we knew all our neighbors.
Yep.
Now I go there, they know none of their neighbors.
That's
now.
sad.
What happened?
Well, also the kids got older. You know, you guys all moved out, so
No,
like I feel
it's
like you know
different,
your
though.
neighbors more when like the kids are younger.
Well, I think though to all the hate that we give the boomers for all the stuff that they're easy to hate on, I will say the boomers. One thing that their generation and the generations before did really well is they were very good at community. I feel like they were very good at like knowing there's Johnny, he's the Little League coach, and I also they knew everybody around town. And they kind of prided themselves in that.
But like I said, like it happens like, oh, it's Johnny the Little League coach because your kid's in Little League. I feel like it becomes normal again once you have kids maybe like 4, 5, 6 years old, and like you meet these parents at different like community events.
I don't know. The world just felt different. It's weird because growing up, I knew who everybody was on my parents' block.
Yeah,
all of them, and I'm sure Jimmy feels the same.
Yeah. And I think we still do know a decent amount of people, but it's changed for sure.
My parents' neighbors don't even talk. Like I go over and I'm like, who's that family that's been there? They moved in last year, and they're like, we don't know them. They've never.
Yeah,
talked
some
to us.
people just are antisocial. They don't care to talk to their neighbor, which I think is really sad.
It's weird. How do you live across the street from somebody and never say, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Like you don't ever like.
Some people are odd cats, man.
They just ask them, well, what do you do for work? Like
sad.
It's your neighbor. Well, if you're in trouble, you're gonna need your neighbors.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. Feels like a psyop, but
maybe those are neighbors stealing your car.
Yeah, maybe. So let's get back to the news. So a sophisticated car theft ring targeting high-value vehicles in New Jersey had an operational footprint that crossed over into Staten Island, according to an interstate investigation. So the New Jersey AG's office on Friday announced the arrest of 11 individuals in connection with the case. Meanwhile, the alleged criminal enterprise's MO bears resemblance to recent law enforcement investigations on Staten Island amid a spike in car thefts. So in the New Jersey case, 11 individuals, including one minor, are charged with first-degree racketeering, which carries a sentence of 10 to 20 years in state prison, as well as fines of up to $500,000. None of the defendants are from Staten Island. Additionally, 2 individuals identified as the shot callers reportedly remain unidentified. E and Big G. Wow. So the group is accused of targeting high-end vehicles in Morris, Essex, Middlesex, Mercer, Burlington counties, said the New Jersey Attorney General, Matt Blacken. In one instance, a crew sacked a $475,000 Rolls Royce. In another, a $90,000 BMW X5 was taken from the driveway of a home in Pompton Plains, New Jersey. The homeowner reportedly woke up to the sound of burglars in his home, then found a window smashed and his key fob swiped from inside the house. So this is
That's just terrifying.
I think 10 to 20 years sounds good. I would just err on the side of 20 years, though.
Have you ever seen one of those like devices that people like can put up to like windows and unlock the car?
The flippers?
Yeah, even though the key fob's inside the house, they just like it's like this long antenna thing, and they point it around, and then it's crazy.
That's crazy.
They can they basically can copy and paste the. I think they use radio waves, those little remotes. So they're able to like basically copy the waves they would emit, and then basically, for lack of better terms, paste it in front of the car, and the car starts.
Crazy.
So,
I mean, are these guys using that technology? Because it sounds like one of the people broke into a person's house.
Yeah, it sounds like they're breaking into people's houses. So this particular operation has been tied to 43 New Jersey vehicles valued at $3.65 million. Leadership within the criminal enterprise would allegedly identify vehicles, including Land Rovers, Mercedes-Benzes, and BMWs for crews of young people to go out and steal. So the stolen vehicles in this story were fenced while being placed on display in parking garages in the Bronx. Then, at least in many cases, the merchandise was loaded into shipping containers, discovered later by authorities at ports on Staten Island and in Elizabeth, New Jersey. It's believed the cars were en route to West African countries for resale on the black market.
I mean, we've been talking about this for years, dude. Like, this has been going on for a while.
Yeah, we all know this is what's happening. They go to the port, they put it in a container, it's gone.
Yeah. And look, now they're caught.
So
at least some of them.
Some of these guys, all these guys should get plenty of time in jail. It's amazing this even exists. We need to be harsh on crime. Stop putting up with it. So what do you guys think about this? What do you think about the youths of our nation stealing cars?
So one thing I was looking into are who are those two individuals identified as E and Big G? Were those guys caught? I was confused by that.
Is that what their like street names were? When they would like correspond with each other?
So here's what it says lower. I'll give you a bit more. So it says defendants Mamadou Kamara, Musa Doumbia, Arona Amadou, Muslim Udurago, should I keep going?
No, I
Mubarak Djibri were identified by authorities as middle-level fences. So these are like the middle-level guys. And then Kamara was allegedly in repeated contact with members of the motor vehicle theft crews and handled the receipt and purchase of stolen vehicles with them. So the crews dealt with Kamara rather than Big G directly, who would also be present nearby during transactions, according to the reports. So it sounds like Big G was like the kingpin in all this. He was the guy pulling the puppet strings.
Ooh.
And he had lots of middlemen doing his bidding here, which is why they can't figure out who he is.
But they caught him. Or they're still like looking for him.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it sounds like they haven't.
Additionally, two individuals identified as the shot callers reportedly remain unidentified, E and Big G. So if they don't have them identified, they don't got them under arrest. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're still on the lookout for some more of these scumbags, and
I mean, they're all over the state. Like they only caught 11 people here. There's got to be hundreds of people doing this constantly.
Yeah.
But it's a good start, right? It's a good little chip right there.
I guess we could be doing better. Get those numbers up. Should we keep moving here?
Let's do it.
New Jersey cop Rebecca Sayas smashed her ex's door with a baton and threatened to burn down his home during a violent home invasion. This is an interesting one.
I think this New Jersey cop is going to be going to jail.
I think we might be hearing a little bit of this.
Lock her up.
Well, it might be a crime of passion. She wasn't on the job when this happened, and relationships are very messy, as we know.
So maybe we should just leave it to them, a little private situation, or do you think?
Well, it's a weird thing because she still committed a crime.
She threatened to burn his house down.
But
it's not a good look.
The rules in a breakup are kind of different, I feel like.
I mean, like smashing the door with a baton. I think it happens all the time.
I feel like I've had friends that got their car keyed by an ex-girlfriend and they just kind of accept that's rules to the game.
Especially if you were the one who screwed up.
Yeah, like maybe he did something stupid and she keys his car. It's not like he's going to go to the cops about it.
I mean, but a violent home invasion, that kind of sounds like you're crossing it.
Yeah, I'd agree. That's pretty bad.
What are the rules? What are the rules to a crime of passion? I mean, like, honestly.
Should we ask
ChatGPT?
Yes, I think we should.
Okay. All right, so here's what I asked. I asked if in a situation... if there's such a thing as, a crime of passion. So it says a crime of passion doesn't automatically excuse criminal conduct. Yeah, it sounds like it's not really, it says it rarely helps.
Yeah. What did you guys expect?
Prosecutors would look at whether you willfully or maliciously damaged property. Yeah, so it sounds like this doesn't really matter, Jimmy.
It's not going to help you at all, Jimmy.
So this lady, off duty, she works as a police officer in Toms River, had a really bad night, it sounds like. So Toms River police officer Rebecca Saya allegedly used her baton to smash through the front door of her ex's Berkeley house around 11:20 p.m. Friday, confronting him and a woman who was also in the house, according to an affidavit of probable cause obtained by NJ.com. So the cop, 32, got into an argument with the pair before she started pushing and shoving both of them, the court docs alleged. So both victims attempted to hold Saya down in the living room before the suspect broke free and allegedly smashed items and pictures on the wall, authorities said. So what happened here, Josh? What do you think is going on in this situation?
I mean, like, you're 32 years old. You have a great job. You're a police officer in town.
In Tom's River. Great town to be a cop
off
in,
duty.
probably.
You know the consequences. You deal with cases like this. How do you snap like that? What happened in this relationship?
Sometimes love makes you do crazy things.
Brother, you're throwing your life away here. She's 32.
Yeah, maybe her ex was a really scummy sort of guy and did some scummy sorts of things. Who
but
knows?
also, you're a cop. You should know. I don't know,
right.
man. It's so frustrating.
I don't think there's any excuse for doing this. I mean, you're kind of just ruined your life.
I mean, she was also brawling with the responding cops and resisting arrest.
Oh my goodness.
Like, she deals with these types of people, and now she's the person.
You don't get into a brawl with the cops.
You're not going to win. You're not going to win every time. And there's body cam footage too. So like that's going to make you look even worse, bro.
Why would anyone ever fight a cop? You lose. It's like the ultimate, no matter what, you lose.
Yeah, I don't know how to defend this girl. I won't defend this girl. Like you can't be doing this kind of stuff no matter what happened. It's unacceptable. And now she just threw her life away, bro.
So
lost a good job.
Here's an interesting plot twist here. Saya, who previously sued her department for alleged sexual harassment 6 months before Friday's incident, was suspended without pay, the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office told the publication. So she already had sued her department for
sexual harassment.
Alleged sexual harassment 6 months ago.
Wow.
So she was saying they were sexually harassing her at work. Now she's smashing in her ex's house.
Ooh, so there were some things going on behind the scenes here that we don't know about.
I don't know what's going on. But what I will say is to this lady, a lot of chaotic stuff going on here. Maybe it's time to chill out for a little while.
Put the baton down for a little bit. Even though you're not going to be able to hold that baton anymore because you ain't a cop no more.
It might be time to hang up the old baton and take a break. So, pretty messy story there, Josh.
I know you hate to hear about it. You hate to read stories like this, and you know she's 32 years old. You have a great job, man. That's sad. Like, what are you gonna do now? She's gonna get arrested. She's been arrested. She's gonna get charged with something. And like, where are you gonna work after this? No one's gonna want to hire you.
Should we look up how much money she was being paid in Tom's River?
Yeah, can you see?
You can. I don't know if we should say it on the podcast. It feels a little disrespectful, but there's a government salary look up. Here we go. Okay, so gov salaries, year 2024, she was making into the six figures for her annual wage, plus overtime. Oh, no, hold on. Yeah, no, I don't think that includes overtime.
No, it should.
Does it? Information may include where available salary, bonuses, benefits, retirement. So she was,
making a comfortable living.
She was making a good living. A solid.
And she just took all that money and threw it away instantly right there.
Crazy. What were you thinking, lady?
Very sad. It comes back to the to mental wellness, bro. Like, are people just mentally just all screwed up everywhere?
I think this is a tale as old as time. I think 2,000 years ago, little mud shacks were being ransacked by angry exes of scummy men.
Yeah, but Josh,
I think this is.
So you want to just throw your life away by doing that?
No, I mean it's a crazy thing. I mean, like, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I just think stuff like this has always gone down. You know,
it just happened to a girl who's
there's always
a
been
police
men,
officer.
and who knows, maybe the guy in the situation is totally innocent. But forget this story for a second. There's always been stories of women seeking revenge against their scummy man. I feel like I'll guarantee you 1,000 years ago, there's a good story about
Of course, yes.
There's a man.
But maybe if you're a police officer, maybe don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think I say none of this should have happened. I'm not excusing it.
Of course not, no. But it happens all the time.
You just made a point that people are mentally ill, and I'm saying I don't think people for sure are mentally ill. You're right. But I don't think this is a result of some new mental illness outbreak. I'm saying this is something that's probably always happened.
Yeah.
That was my point.
I'm just mad for her just because it's like you had a great job.
How do you get a new job now? Everyone's going to look you up.
I know. You're
And
that
see,
crazy cop.
you sued your old employer, and then you ransacked your ex's house, which, I'm starting to see 2 strikes. Maybe maybe you're not easy to work with, or maybe I don't know, maybe she's the victim in all of this. Who knows? Let's keep it going here. Let's move on to another story. I'm over it. So here's one we talked about a lot recently, and then we stopped talking about it, and now it's back. Woo! New Jersey Transit is warning commuters to plan to work from home with a looming strike approaching.
So this strike actually might be happening. We're a few weeks away.
It sounds like this one's going to happen.
Dude, imagine all the trains just stopped. It's kind of crazy to think about.
Well, the challenge here is NJ Transit has said basically, if we give the locomotive engineers the salary they want, we're going to go into a financial death spiral. Like it's over for NJ Transit.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I mean,
maybe it's for the best.
An average engineer earns about $135,000 annually. And the new contract they want the new contract to be an average salary of $172,000. Do you think that's too much of a jump? Do you think this is radical, or do you think it should happen?
It's all subjective in New Jersey nowadays. Mm-hmm. I mean, what do you need to make? We talk about this all the time. What do you need to make to be middle class in New Jersey nowadays?
A lot.
Some people would say $100,000 a year. Some people would say $200,000 a year. It depends on where you live. And, I don't know. I don't know what their hours look like. I don't know what the workload looks like. I'm sure there's some stress involved. You're driving a train with hundreds of people on it. So I don't know. I'm not the person to ask.
Got it.
But I would say, well, let's read the article, and then we can give hot takes afterwards and talk about the billionaires in New Jersey that we went down. So with a potential rail worker strike threatening to shut down train service to New York City in mid-May, NJ Transit officials are urging tens of thousands of workers to consider working from home. Chris Calori, the transit agency's new CEO and president, said Wednesday that if the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen, the union that represents rail engineers, opts to strike and halt service, the responsibility and the blame will be squarely on them.
He's like wiping his hands clean. He's like, it's not us, it's them.
You're right. He's like, I'm innocent
doesn't want
of this.
any more crap.
The agency presented a contingency plan that would begin May 19th to help people who can't work from home get to their jobs by bus from 4 key regional park and ride lots. But the bus plan will only accommodate about a fifth of the commuters who use trains daily, Calori said. So he said, I've said this very clearly. Each train carries 1,000 people on average. Each bus carries 100 people. If it's an articulated bus, so that's the one that can wiggle. That's why I want to be crystal clear here. This is not a replacement of our rail system. This is a plan to mitigate so essential workers can get to work in New York and other places in a safe and efficient manner. The contingency plan will cost $4 million daily, he added. Wow.
But also, I love how they're asking people to work from home like it's their choice. Like, some people can't work from home.
How is this going to cost $4 million daily? Our buddy Joe at Boxcar could figure out a contingency plan that's not $4 million daily. Think about, what does it cost to run one bus to New York?
It depends. Like, how many buses are they going to be bringing like extra? That's the question that I don't see here in this article.
Well, I want to know how. It doesn't say also how many riders are going to be affected by this. If we knew that number, we could figure it out because it's
you got to think. Well, I said like 1,000 people per train.
Yeah.
And how many trains are running throughout the entire state? Tons, dude.
There's like a train coming into Penn every 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's a lot of people.
So this is going to be an interesting one. So this is mid-May. So if you guys remember, there was lots of talk of a strike. That was right around my birthday. So right around, I think it was March 11th, they came to a conclusion, right? And it was kind of like, well, there's a new contract and the locomotive engineers don't want it. And now they're coming back saying, we want more money.
Yeah.
Josh Chomick, what do you think is going to happen? You think they're going to resolve this, or you think that they're going to shut down?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm hoping, and it said like the union, they want they don't want to strike either. They want to meet in the middle, but it sounds like they're very firm on getting their money. And like I said earlier, the average engineer earns $135,000 annually, and they want to bring the average up to $172,000. So it's very interesting.
It's the type of thing where you kind of makes you wonder, what's going to happen. And I think if I had to guess, I'm going to say this is going to be resolved somehow.
I hope so. A lot of these strikes usually do get resolved pretty quickly. And one last point I wanted to touch on here is the expanded outbound and inbound park and ride services. If the rail service halts, so these are the 4 spots they're expanding. Weekdays only: Secaucus Junction to Port Authority Bus Terminal, PNC Bank Arts Center in Homedale to Port Authority Bus Terminal, Hamilton Rail Station to Newark Penn Station Path, and Woodbridge Center Mall to Harrison Path Station.
Yeah.
So that's all part of the contingency plan if the strike actually happens. So if you're a commuter, be on the lookout, make a plan, talk to your boss at work, figure out what the situation looks like. Can you work from home? A lot of people want to work from home, but their employers won't let them. So that's where it gets very weird.
If there's a major strike, maybe the hybrid employees could back off
and just work from home.
Just tell their employer hey, there's a strike.
It's gonna be a mess.
I'm thinking we bring back carpools.
Oh!
Anyone want to hop in a car with me and drive to New York?
Get the minivan out.
Wait.
Bring 5 people. Garden State listeners, you guys could all just hang out and talk Jersey the whole car ride.
I'm gonna wrap a minivan in Garden State Green.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna charge people. I'll just say it's $50 a day.
Okay.
To and from
Love
total.
it.
So $25 each way. And we're gonna listen to good music both ways.
Nice.
And it'll be a good time. I think we could get a couple, in some of those rich towns, Chatham.
Josh, you might be onto something. This might be your business plan.
Wait a second, but what if? Okay, because we're gonna ideate for a second here. You say go on these tangents. So now that you've called it out, I'm just gonna do it. That's a great side hustle. You make a commuter minivan service while you're on your way to work. You're driving people with you. Why do people not do that?
Well, what would your rate be per
so let's
per
say
ride?
you already got to drive to New York and you go on your town's page and say, hey, everybody, I know a lot of people here drive to the city or take the train to the city.
Yeah.
I'm offering my service. I have a minivan with 7 seats. It's going to be $10.
It's got to be a minivan. It can't be anything else.
Okay, so it's a 7 passengers. So that means you have 6 seats. It's going to be $10 each way. $10 each way. Okay, fine.
So is that cheaper than a train ticket?
You're driving. You're driving a Chevy Tahoe. Okay, so you have two. You have the captain's
It's not
chairs.
as cool as driving a minivan. The minivan kind of sells
7 seats.
Yeah.
So 6 when you include yourself. $10 each way.
Okay.
Let's make it 15 each way. That's better.
Wait, what's a train ticket? Are they?
They're like $15 each way.
All right, so same price.
Yeah, you start conservative.
Okay.
Get people hooked, and then you raise the price.
Got it.
So it's $30 a person.
Yeah.
You got 6 friends coming with you. All right. What's the math there, Chomick?
30. Wait.
$180.
Yeah.
So you're making $180 a day, and you're already going to be driving in.
That's not bad.
Okay, and after all the tolls, that's with congestion pricing.
Bro, that's an extra $1,000 a week. $48,000 a year, roughly. Why does nobody do that? That's a great idea.
Well, after tolls and gas, you're probably going to be making $500, $600 a week.
Yeah, you're going to be losing a lot.
But it's still some money.
Tolls,
still
gas,
$600.
parking. Well, yeah, you're right.
Oh, the
Tolls,
parking.
gas,
Yeah,
parking.
you got to figure out the parking lot.
You losing money?
Maybe.
But what if you have a company? Your company's already giving you the parking spot.
That's illegal. That's illegal. Wait, there might be a way. Because if you don't have to worry about the fee for the monthly parking in New York City, that's your only hurdle right now. Figure out where you're going to park.
Okay, I know
for
this
free.
is insane. I know it's insane. But if all these people driving to New York, go on your town page and just offer. I'll give people rides to me to work.
$15 each way, dude. I mean, at least give them a discount.
Okay, well, I don't know. That seems pretty good to get a ride. You get dropped off at your office. I mean, imagine it's like you're running a little route.
That'd be pretty cool.
All right, let's close this. This podcast is getting weird. We gotta close this one out. We got one more story here, and this is also related to transport. It seems that our infrastructure is failing.
Everything's failing.
Newark airport passengers are facing more delays from equipment issues and staffing shortages.
Oh, baby. Lots of delays yesterday in Newark Airport.
What is going on?
Really?
Yeah, it's been bad. All I hear is about delays constantly in Newark Airport. It's very bad.
Yeah, so passengers traveling through Newark Airport on Thursday again dealt with significant delays due to FAA staffing shortages.
I heard that they're also redoing one of the runways.
Well, that's one of the issues here. They're like one of the runways is like shut down because they're redoing it.
Yeah.
So I guess with the staffing shortages and that added together, it's just not good.
It's a disaster.
But still, you still have 2 runways. Like, what's the problem? Is it that congested Newark Airport that you need all 3 going at once?
Yeah,
I don't know how air traffic works in Newark.
Yeah, I don't know.
So the FAA reported Newark Airport was in a ground delay program shortly after 11 a.m. An earlier group stop, which had the potential to hold flights, was canceled. So by the evening, departure delays had been all but eliminated, with flights leaving the transportation hub on time or even close to it. Arrivals into Newark were still a different story, with the average delay about 5 hours. The number was expected to last through the evening. So crazy delays. They're blaming equipment issues, which, I guess the equipment, I'm assuming, is like how they move the bags around and stuff.
They said track on.
That's the thing that spits the bags out.
Oh, is that it?
I don't know. Track on. Let's see.
Well, it says the FAA also experienced equipment issues at its Philadelphia Track On Center, which helps manages the airspace around Newark Liberty, causing delays for passengers on early morning flights out of the airport. So
Man.
Technology problems, issues all over.
And they're
not
going to
good.
do runway. So if you're planning to travel, Newark Liberty may not be the move right now. I
mean,
will
what
say.
are you going to do? You're going to go JFK or LaGuardia?
I know, and that's the issue.
No.
I was at Terminal A 2 weeks ago, and it was a divine experience. It was lovely.
No
It was
delays, no issues.
No, it was great, and that terminal is beautiful. It made me proud for a second because I went to Vancouver. That's not a nice airport.
It wasn't? I expected
No.
Vancouver to have something nice.
It's straight out of the 90s. It has not been updated in like literally 30 years.
Okay.
But Terminal A feels like an airport I'd be proud to show people flying into America for the first time they land there. Like, that's a good airport.
Yeah.
Terminal C?
Not
We're
so
getting-
much.
Listen, wait. There's a few wings at Terminal C that they rebuilt like 10 years ago that are nice. Terminal B is the problem.
Terminal B's bad.
That's bad. The international terminal, it's terrible. Low ceilings, it looks awful. It's falling apart. Terminal C was redone like 10 years ago, so it's not the worst. But yeah, now compared to Terminal A, there's no comparison. Like Terminal C looks terrible.
Terminal C is the one with the circle at the end, right? You go to the end of a...
Terminal is like 1, 2, 3. 3 arms going out.
Okay, which is the one where you walk to the end and then it's like a circle at
That's
the
a
end?
B.
That one's bad.
Oh yeah, it's old. It's old.
really bad.
And they got to I don't know if they have plans on renovating that one next or rebuilding it. Or I don't know what they're doing with Terminal A. I heard, the old Terminal A. I heard like they were gonna film a movie there or something.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea.
I wouldn't be surprised with all these movies happening in Jersey. Let's use an old airport terminal to film a movie at. It's perfect. But I don't know. Every time I drive past Newark Airport, I see nothing happening there at the old terminal. So I'm curious if anyone has some insider information. Let me know what they're doing with the old Terminal A. Imagine renting that out.
Be cool for a sleepover.
Yeah, a little sleepover slumber party.
A little summer party with the friends, play some paintball.
Do some remote control
Drink some
airplanes in
Mountain
the
Dew.
parking lot. Code Red.
I think it's time to wrap this one, guys. Let's land the plane.
Oh.
But
all right, Captain Sobo.
But the runway's under construction.
Oh, where are you gonna land?
Yeah, true.
Ooh, in the new studio.
Wow.
We don't know our ways around.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to another week of the Garden State Podcast. We so appreciate our listeners. The mailbag calls always make our day.
Yeah, keep them coming.
Thank you for listening to our absolute ADD nonsense. I think between the three of us, at least 2 should be medicated, and we're not. So
Yeah, Jimmy.
me and Chomik. So thank you everybody for listening. Have an awesome weekend. It's going to rain a bit, but we'll get through. Hopefully you get some nice, warm, sunny weather somewhere in there.
Oh, yeah.
And enjoy this springtime weather we've been having. We'll catch you next Friday with more New Jersey news. Have a great week.
Later.
Bye.
You're listening to the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.